Hey, good morning. It's Dr. Lazar. It's time for Daily Dose with Dr. Lazar. Your choices matter. What's really, really interesting to me is, growing up from a faith background, the idea of, there's a dichotomy when it comes to faith, or I might even better say religion. I'm a person of faith built on relationship, not religion, but either way, you'll get my point. There are groups of people who say you can't ever do anything wrong. You'll never have God's love. You'll never have forgiveness. You'll never be good enough. So do your best to be perfect. You have to be perfect. You have to do everything right. And then maybe, just maybe, if you do everything right and you're perfect and your works matter and you measure up and you hustle hard enough, then maybe then you'll be worthy of whatever it is you want, salvation, forgiveness, whatever. Okay. A lot of religions really come from that perspective. There's another end of the spectrum, this all grace perspective, that's what we do doesn't really matter. We can be forgiven anyway. God loves us. There's no point in struggling. Just be who you are. Just if it feels good, do it. Just live however you want to live, and at the end, you can just ask for forgiveness because God's a forgiving God. There's that perspective also. But the reality is, there's a story of a dad whose son was living really recklessly, and what he found was to drive the point home. Every time his son did something that was reckless or unhealthy or dangerous or stupid or something, he would have him go drive a nail into a post in the backyard. But every time he did something that was like an act of service or something that was kind or generous or something, he would let him go pull one of the nails out. So like one bad act equals a nail, one good act equals removing a nail. Sounds like a great idea. Well, it didn't take very long for the son to realize that even though he could pull the nail out of the post, it still was leaving a hole. And so I really want to encourage us. I didn't mean for this to have such a faith perspective, although, it comes out, man. I can't help it. But here's the thing. Whether it's faith, whether it's life, whether it's health, physical health, whether it's our choices, the truth is that principle is universal and it fits no matter what. So if you go your entire life eating a high sugar diet and being overweight and not working out and smoking and not getting adjusted, and then you become, diabetic, you can take insulin, you can change your diet, but a lot of times the damage is done. And even if you can reverse some of it, the damage is done. In your spine, when we talk about spine health, I can't tell you the number of times, it's over 90%, where we look at somebody's x-rays and we say to them, you've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years worth of damage in here. Where have you been? We can't undo the damage. We can stop it from progressing any further, but we can't undo that. And so I want to encourage you, I don't want this to be heavy, I want to encourage you that your choices matter. And while it may not be the entire factor, they matter. People ask me all the time, hi Deb, good morning. People ask me all the time about genetics. Hey, do my genetics play a factor? Same exact principle. You can't live your life in fear because of your genetics, and you can't live your life and be stupid about it and blame it on your genetics either. So the principle of genetics really is better explained with an epigenetics conversation. In other words, what are the choices happening around your genetics? And an easy rule of thumb for that is genetics load the gun. So as a metaphor, your genes load the gun. They put the bullets in the magazine in the chamber. But your lifestyle pulls the trigger. Now, I know some of you watching are huge game changers and players with Beamer, the microcirculation device that we use in the office and that we promote and all that kind of stuff. When we think about choices in genetics, I can't think of anything cooler. You can do it at home. Your genetics matter, but if you don't have proper blood flow, proper oxygen delivery, proper nutrient delivery to the cells, and proper waste removal, genetics are going to play out. But your lifestyle choices are what pull the trigger, and you have control. That is within your circle of control what you do. Are you going to get adjusted and get your spine healthy and nervous system working? Are you going to pray? Are you going to exercise? Are you going to eat a disciplined diet? Are you going to Beamer 8 minutes twice a day and make sure that you've got 24 hours a day of optimal blood flow? Totally up to you. This is Daily Dose with Dr. Lazar. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I will look forward to being back with you on Monday. If you have questions, please leave them below. Also, I'm doing a paid webinar. I very rarely do paid ones, but this is a think tank. It's a live full potential group strategy session. And so if you're in a service business and you're looking for ways to avoid your product or service getting cut out of people's budgets while they're going through these economic uncertain times and this fear and this media frenzy, if you want to know how to keep your product or service in people's budgets so they don't cut you out of their budget like they do with everyone else, then join me today. You can register. It's $97 for that webinar. And the reason I'm charging for that is because there's a limited number of people, because I want it to be an interactive mastermind think tank group strategy session where you bring your product or service to the table, which is great for networking. And then we will game plan and strategize together. It comes with a workbook that you get to download and fill out and ask really important questions and some help with strategy. My goal is that you have a 10 times return on investment minimum for that. In fact, I've guaranteed that if you don't have a 10 times return on investment from that webinar, I'll refund the full fee back to you. So it's only $97. You can't lose. I've put the link right in the chat so you can register. That is at 1 p.m. Eastern today. So act fast. If success loves action. So if you're even thinking about it, grab your seat because we only have a limited number of those, and it will be an awesome strategy session. So that's in there. Like and share this. If you have questions, leave them there. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm Dr. Lazar. I'll be back on Monday. Thanks.